Welcome to Happily Divorced with Karishma. Fear told me to play it safe, to keep one foot in, one foot out. But deep down, I knew that a halfway yes would never give me the freedom that I craved. In this episode, I share what happened when I went all in, why that brave yes became the doorway to abundance, freedom, and more importantly, my true voice. Let's begin. Hello, friends. What a wild week this has been, and we're only in the second of the month, and it is just incredible how things have stacked to where they are today. And I want to share what's happening, share the miracles that are being uncovered right now, and just what it looks like to just move through deep fear, deep insecurities, and step into who we really are. I've been sharing my journey, and for those of you that have been listening to my podcast, I shared a couple of weeks ago how I had not one but two business opportunities sort of go awry. And when things happen in our world, it is an invitation to come back to our heart. It is an invitation to come back to ourselves. And sometimes we can't even see the big picture, but every no from the universe is a yes to reconnect with you and find what really aligns with you. I've been an entrepreneur for the last 5 years. The reason that I left my W-2 back in 2019 was because I desired time freedom. I desired control of my schedule, desired wanting peace in my life and wanting to be there for my children and enjoying those little things. And it's really interesting because when I look back at the first 5 years or 7 years of my kid's life, I can tell you, being someone who dealt with active alcoholism when they were very little, to the qualms of single parenting when they were very little, having twins under the age of 5 and then going back to work. When I look back at those first early years of being a mom, I would characterize them as very stressful. When 2019 happened and my corporate burnout happened, it was an invitation again that led me to realizing that I really wanted to have my own business and I wanted to create life and abundance on my terms. I started my coaching business back in 2019. And after that, I created a 7-figure business. And I'll be honest, the last couple of years as a coach have been a little hard. And the coaching industry has changed. And you cultivate these skills as an entrepreneur. And for me, the skills that I really enjoy more than anything is cultivating deep relationships and selling. And for me, selling equals serving. And I'm deeply aligned to this belief that when I sell, I serve. And who I am on a really deep level in terms of my purpose and what I really care about and what really moves my soul is serving. And connection for me and impact are two of my biggest love languages. So given all of that, the last year has been really interesting. And, as I was sort of like doing the coaching piece, it's like, I don't know if I really enjoy the business of coaching. I love coaching people. I love serving people. But what would it look like to do that from a place of abundance and joy? And therefore, this podcast was birthed as my way of just sharing with you with no attachment and just coming here, serving and sharing from the heart, and just me reiterating again this muscle of my consistency and my belief within myself. And every time I have a client in front of me and they're on the fence or uncertain, all of this life is about, do you have what it takes? Do you have the grit that it takes to believe in you and to move forward? So given all of that, this past year specifically, I had multiple directions where I could go. One thing that was really interesting that looked like it was going to pan out even a few months ago was coming into my partner's real estate business and doing some fundraising, creating funds for real estate and giving investors a safe return to invest their hard-earned money and to be that bridge and to be that relationship person. And honestly, I tried that and I loved it. And for a multitude of reasons, we decided in real estate that we would go in a different direction. In the meantime, because I'm a coach, because I love people, I was still out there and I was still networking, still connecting, and a handful of clients the last year have come to me as a result of referrals, as a result of networking, as a result of simply getting out there and connecting. So here we are, and these last few weeks have happened. I was looking for kind of a more consistent way to gain income, and the universe has been showing me a lot of no's. And again, a no is redirection. A no doesn't mean that there's something wrong with me. A no often means it's redirection from God. A no means that something outside of that thing in front of me is looking for me. And my job is to show up. My job is to surrender. My job is to do the hard work and have the grit and show up anyway, especially when days feel hard. A couple weeks ago, especially after this conversation with my friend that I shared about in last week's podcast, I came back to a realization that I had to make it safe for me to show up, to speak up, and to be who I really am. And who I really am is someone who wants to create deep, deep impact and transformation in the world. And as a result of that conversation, I was like, coaching is a hell yes for me, and I must do my business. So last week I came into this, again, reaffirmed belief, and I'm like, I'm going to do business differently this time in a way that feels really aligned to me, feels really authentic to me, in a way that feels purposeful to me. But I want to do it differently, and I want to serve people with what I really want to serve people with, which is really about fulfillment, which is really about connection, which is really about helping people find their way back to their hearts so they can show up in business, in life, in relationships differently, and really create joy, purpose, and meaning in their work, in their personal relationships with themselves, with their kids, with their marriages, etc. And so last week I came into this path like, okay, I'm a full-time coach again. And what does it look like to be a coach? In the midst of all of this, I found my coach, a woman who does marketing and has done consistent in these crazy economy of coaching in the last 5 years. And she's been there, she's been steadfast, she's been consistent, she's consistent clients, she's doing it in a way that's, a few hours a day. And she's been able to sustain her coaching practice. And I'll be honest with you, from when I started in 2020, to the number of coaches that are still around today that actually have clients, I mean, the number is so small. I'm talking like 5 to 10% max. And that's probably me being really generous. So I come across this woman, we talk through what I need, and I'm like, I really want to market on LinkedIn. I really want to serve these clients on fulfillment. I really want to work on the business and create that abundance, create that business from a state of joy and alignment and flow. We talked about what that looked like specifically for me. And we went through this whole process, and it was so crazy because I'm talking about still balancing a job with the business. And she said, Karishma, if you really knew that it would work for you, would you commit to your business and go all in expecting it to work? Or would you do it partially on the side as a hobby, expecting the job to work? And, it's so crazy because I'm a coach and usually I'm the one sitting on that side of the table, right? Helping my clients come back to who they really are. And sometimes just having that mirror across from you helps you realize, like what you're saying, that if I really state that my highest and most important value is freedom, then shouldn't that be my focus? Shouldn't that be my priority? Shouldn't that be my joy? And if I'm doing something that's out of alignment with that, with my deepest values, I'm always going to feel unfulfilled because that business, that job, that career, that relationship isn't fulfilling what my heart really wants, which is, again, freedom and impact, to serve people and to do it in a way that feels good, that allows me flexibility. And here I am sitting in Houston, 5 hours away from my home in Dallas, because I had the freedom to get up and drive on Thursday morning and come to my man's home, which is where I'm sitting at today. And, when I made the decision to say yes to me, when it came to recommitting to my coaching business, and then, oh my God, like making another commitment to a coach. And I remember telling my partner, when I said yes to her, I actually said yes to me. And it wasn't even about the money for me. It was like more the angst and really coming to terms with, like, oh my God, what if it doesn't work out again? Oh my God, what if I fail again? And this weekend specifically, deep feelings of failure, fear of failure was coming up. I literally had a stomach ache yesterday morning as I was sitting with all of this. And I just really had to come back to my heart and be like, oh my God, Karishma, it's okay to be scared, but I've got you. And those hopes and dreams that we have in our heart are there for us. They're there for us to remind us of who we really are. They're there to remind us of what we really desire in our heart. And they're there to really help bring us back to ourselves. And, it's so easy to take those small voices of our dreams, our desires, our hopes, and squash them and say, I'll deal with you later, not now, because I have a job, because I have a this, I have a that. And the reasons will never stop. But what I'm realizing more and more is today is the day to say yes to me. And when we say yes to ourselves, I just know that the joy that permeates, the love that permeates, the abundance that permeates, relationships prosper. If you're showing up and you're true to you, you wake up with a smile on your face. You wake up and you're ready to go. And it's not because of a result. It's because you get to do what you love and you trust that the money will come. You trust that the clients will come. You trust that the business will come. But me saying yes to me has always been the biggest gift I could possibly give me, way beyond any safety or security, anything or anyone on the outside could ever promise me. Thanks for listening.